Howdy, y'all. Joe Hills here, recording as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee. And now that we got our house underway and our barn and everything is pretty good, I wanted to take a break from all this interior architecture and kind of spend a little bit of attention on the field. Because, I don't know if you can tell, but, this area here has been kind of just smashed up by mobs. And, I don't know, it just feels like there's a little bit more I could do out here. You know, we got random torches, we got pumpkins just in the ground, we got trenches out this way. This whole area just really needs to be cleared up. So, I know that might not be the most exciting way to kick off a 100th episode, but it seems like one of those...
Howdy, y'all. Incorporeal voice here.
Did y'all hear that?
If you build it, he will come.
Hello?
If you build it, he will come.
Well, that's weird. We're gonna go inside before all the mobs come out, and hopefully this will make more sense in the morning. I gotta say, one thing that I've done is, I started teleporting into windows. That's not great. But I found that these are the best food. Well, that didn't get me inside. Dang it. Okay, well, we're just gonna use the door. Ender pearls and doors be darned. We're gonna go and spin a yarn of slumber and tumbling into our beds so we can rest our weary heads and stop hearing creepy voices. Let's go ahead back out here and, maybe try and get something done, Let's just, plenty of work in the field here. We've got, for example, random torch. Don't really need that. We're just gonna get rid of that torch here, put down a nice quartz slab. There's just something that feels right about that. And then let's go this way. I see another torch there. Yeah, I'm thinking another slab. That feels correct. Then over here maybe another torch here. Get rid of this slab. We need to harvest some of this wheat anyway, I'm thinking. Let's just go ahead and grab a bunch of this wheat. This will help us with our cattle farm. Anyway. Because, yeah, man, I'm getting tired of not having any diamonds on this server. I used all my diamonds on the house. So we really need to just harvest a whole bunch of wheat and feed a bunch of cattle. I usually do that off camera. But, man, it just takes a lot out of you. Just, 3 hours of streaming to, just, feed some cattle. This is a good start. Man, this is really making me realize how much of this, water here is just a mess everywhere. Oh, dang it, there's another torch over there. Let's go ahead and clean that up. Well, we'll leave that torch for now, so that way it can light things up even after we recover that pumpkin. So we'll just clear some of this out. Yeah, this feels right. There's something about this. I feel like we're going the right direction, And the thing about vectors is it's not just about direction, it's about distance. Well, unless it's a force vector, in which case it's about force. But hopefully this is neither too contrived nor forced. Let's go ahead and throw some of these seeds on the ground and then try and pick up the wheat, because that's really our top priority here. Yeah, I'm going to have to run inside and drop off some of this wheat. I'm just picking up too much. Or maybe I'll go feed the cattle real quick and come back. Time skip.
Who's the guy who can conquer death? That's Joe Hills. He plays for Nashville when he plays Minecraft. That's Joe Hills. That's Joe Hills.
Welcome back to the show. As you can see, I've gone ahead and set up my inventory in here. This says a future farm site, but I think we can remove that. It is the Greatest Plains, but, the farm is achieved. There we go. There it is, out there looking beautiful. Now, this side over here, which has been my home for a good while, I think I'm actually going to seal up so future generations can discover it once Asuma resets the server. Just going to cover that up there, and this here. And let's see. I thought, since it's my 100th episode, probably want to do something special, not just gathering wheat around the server. And it just so happens that my brother is in town from... Where are you from, Sean?
Nashville, Tennessee.
Yes. But you don't, live here all the time anymore, right?
No, I don't. No, and I lost my accent, too.
Oh, that's a shame. That's what happens when folks move to Oklahoma. Everybody who lives in Oklahoma just talks real boring.
It's the Midwest way.
Yep. So anyway, for those of you guys who don't know, Sean has been my brother most of my life and all of his. Is that correct?
That is correct.
See, I'm asking you easy questions, so then when I ask the hard-hitting ones, you're ready. Like, so Sean, what was it like to write the "Who's the Guy Who Can Conquer Death? That's Joe Hill's" song?
It was the hardest thing I've done in my life. Not because it's difficult for me to write a song, but because it's difficult to capture the essence of Joe Hills in just a couple minutes' time.
Well, I think that the song actually only has about 18 seconds in it. So like, you took the difficulty of doing something that would take 2 minutes and then made it take like a sixth of that.
Well, there are, about 16 verses that your audience never gets to hear, so...
I wish that I had thought to ask you about those verses. So, like, what kind of how do they move from the initial verses? Because I know the opening lyrics are like, "Who's the guy who can conquer death? That's Joe Hills. He plays for Nashville when he plays Minecraft. That's Joe Hills." Like, what are the other kind of call and responses there?
Who's the guy who can't play guitar?
That's Joe Hills.
Yep. It just started.
He
getting
dreams
more
of
and more
NASA and to reach the stars.
Right, it starts to get into the more mundane aspects of your life. So I think it's smart that you cut it off after 18 seconds.
Who's the guy who can iron shirts? That's Joe Hills.
Joe Hills, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize this, but it takes a long time to iron all the shirts that I need to wear to go to work every day. That's actually one of the things on my Patreon thing. It's like, hey, you guys, if you guys give me enough money that I can start dry cleaning my shirts, that'll save me about an hour and a half every other week. That'd be great. Actually, probably more, because I have to, wash them, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean...
It only takes, 5 minutes to drop them off, pick them up.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that would be very doable. It's just a matter of, getting it done. So we're also doing something a little different and recording with Sean's microphone that we use for an upcoming series. You guys haven't heard any of it yet, but it's kind of a Dungeons and Dragons kind of mix between Groundhog Day and Ravenloft that have not formally announced. Well, this is kind of an informal announcement. You'll see more about it later. But I figure since it's my 100th episode, you can't just have me out here, harvesting crops for an hour. That would not be a good 100th episode. Yeah. So let's see other songs that Sean has written, because that's one of your areas of expertise that most cleanly overlaps with the videos I make at this point. Let's see. You did the what is it called? You did the "Send Me Away Via Subspace" song.
I did.
And also the what was it? The one about conquering hell.
Conquering hell.
Bring on the creepers, bring on the pain. Here comes the legend, the bravest of brave. Fiercer than lions, more southern than you. He conquered your hearts, now he'll conquer hell too. That's Joe Hills. I don't usually play that one as much.
That's right.
That one's...
That's kind of a B-side, I think.
Yeah.
But I did write that one.
Let's see. We could talk about other stuff you've worked on. It doesn't all have to be about songs.
Well, and there was once upon a time, there was a webcomic called Jack of All Blades that I wrote music for.
You did occasionally write music for Jack of All Blades. An Industrial Revolutionary you wrote for as well.
As well, yeah.
Yeah. So, let's see. I think that this field is just definitely coming along nicely.
What exactly are you harvesting here?
This is wheat. It's used in Minecraft to feed cattle. It's one of their most popular grains in the game. In fact, it's the only grain in the game. I think most of the other things you can harvest are pumpkins or snow. What else? Carrots.
Do you have cattle?
I do. I actually have a cattle farm elsewhere on the server, and it is one of the primary sources of food for everybody I play with. So I better not screw it up.
A lot of people are relying on you.
Yeah, I mean, like 15. That's like more than one.
Mm-hmm.
I've already got a baby, so that's one. And then there's 16 other total. You know, so that's the thing I gotta worry about.
A lot of pressure.
Yeah, you know, I try not to buckle like so many belts, but, you know, it's difficult. It's a lot of pressure.
I'm sure a healthy Patreon would relieve some of that stress.
Yeah, this wasn't all going to be me plugging my Patreon, but you can plug my Patreon.
Exactly. It's less, you know, it's
Yeah,
not as shameless that way.
yeah, no, it's not.
I'm promoting you, you're promoting me.
Yeah, I have very little shame in the first place, but yeah, the
As your audience knows.
yes, no shame. I'm just this guy. You know, I was thinking about it, not to get too political. In fact, this is probably the only Have you read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
No, but I have seen the BBC adaptation.
Okay, so I think really the best case for America at this point is that Zaphod Beeblebrox is basically Donald Trump, or vice versa.
Yes. Well,
Like, that's the best we're gonna get, is that he steals an aircraft carrier because he wants to, like, learn something about himself.
right.
That would be a win condition at this point.
Well,
or
some people
a success.
are hoping that he's Andy Kaufman.
This is a very elaborate
the
Andy
long
Kaufman.
dead comedian. That's
Yeah,
an elaborate bit. He's doing a bit, you know.
Yeah, no, he's always been a bit guy, so yeah, he can do something a bit crazy. Wow, yeah, that would be pretty out there. Let's see. I'm trying to think other best case scenarios here. You know, it's important to stay upbeat. So as you can tell, this field was inspired by the movie Signs. I just loved how, you know, the guy would look out and have all the corn and stuff. And unfortunately, there's no corn in Minecraft, so I had to make it with wheat instead. I think Interstellar might have been a little bit of an influence too, but not quite as much.
Interstellar. I could see signs.
Yeah, if you opened up your eyes, you'd definitely see a sign.
Well, and now Mel Gibson is making a bit of a comeback too. So.
Yeah, I don't know if I plan to see his war movie thing.
Yeah. Hacksaw Ridge. I'm also here to promote that.
Are you in Hacksaw Ridge?
I am not.
Okay.
Nor have I seen it.
But Mel Gibson would really like it if people said nice things about it.
Right,
and
but I have been on a ridge and I've used a hacksaw, and I think that qualifies me enough.
Not simultaneously, because
that'd be dangerous.
It says right there on the side of the hacksaw, please do not use on ridges.
And also, it also says not to use it upon ridges.
Yeah, you don't want to.
Such as if you had, like a bag of Ruffles, you wouldn't want to use your hacksaw on that because of the ridges.
No, not at all. Yeah. It actually took a really long time to plant these crops all diagonally like this.
And now this is the harvesting.
It's one of the harvests. I'm hoping not to have to harvest very much, but I've got enough wheat here that this should feed the cattle for a while. I'm actually going to run back to the barn and throw the crops that we have in. And then I wanted to show you some stuff about the house I've been building.
Okay.
It's a pretty conventional farmhouse. Let's see. But before I do that, so...
Well, you're not a conventional guy.
No, but, I do attend a lot of conventions. I actually went to a pinball convention with Corinne, like, this weekend. She had, like, luckily they had, like, little stools, like step stools. So she's just, like, walking around with this little step stool, randomly picking pinball machines. And then, like, this one, Daddy. And then she'd play pinball.
No, you got to start them young.
Yeah. Man, I'm thinking that stone is a little obvious. I might cover that with dirt, actually. Sorry, this is one of the reasons that filming Minecraft is always a process. Because, every time you're like, oh, I'm going to go do this. You're like, oh, no, I'm still going to have to fix this other thing that looks terrible. Because everything looks terrible all the time.
No, I think you have too many aesthetic concerns.
Well, aestheticism is one of the highest forms of enlightenment or something. I don't know if that's true.
Mel Gibson said that.
Yeah. One thing I also wanted to do, though, is I did want to put some little windows in down here.
Be a nice touch.
Yeah, just kind of have, like, a little ventilation type thing. I'm realizing that dirt is going to look bad, though. So let's run around here to the basement. I put a double door on my basement because I really wanted a fancy basement. It looks silly, but I like it. Like so many things in Minecraft. Here we go.
No, it just really says you've arrived.
You've arrived. Welcome to Historic Joe's basement. Welcome home. Okay, so let's see. Oh, one thing else I wanted to show you. So for anyone who did want to contribute to my Patreon, check out this video of my new office that you would be able to help me fund, which would be really cool. So let's go ahead and let's show everybody all the cool stuff that they can do. Well, actually, they can't really do anything in my office because it's barely large enough for 2 people now. But let's go ahead and roll the tape. Oh, hey, Sean. Welcome to my new studio space. Come on in. Oh, dang it, I forgot to do the accent.
Oh, you're doing the Bob Vila accent.
Yeah, I was like, Hi, I'm Bob Vila, and welcome to home again. Oh, I'm just kidding, it's me, Joe Hills. Welcome, Sean. Come on in, check out my cool new office. This is a space I'm renting for a few $100s a month where I can record in peace, where my wife can have me not in the house, which is really the benefit upshot here. People will say, Joe, when you have such a small YouTube channel, does it make sense to like rent an office space? No, it doesn't. But when somebody's pursuing a PhD in biophysics, then you start saying, how can I help them get their life, moved along better? And it was definitely worth my wife's while to get all this stuff and me out of the living room so she can actually like do homework at night. And I'm going to close the door because the cleaning people are coming through. But yeah, welcome. As you can see, I got my computer here. I got some like monitors. They got the vacuum cleaner running because we're real professional. This is why we're recording this part now instead of the other parts where I voice over Minecraft. Like hard drives, I got books everywhere. The bookshelf's kind of in a weird place, but it kind of helps baffle the sound so we don't get quite as much echo. And, it doesn't have any windows. I actually chose this room because it has a pillar in the wall here, because that helps break up the auditory, the room is less echoey, just because there's like an additional protrusion into it. So, anyway, we got a lot of cool stuff out of my house. We got a place for me to record on my lunch break, and we probably better cut this off because I hear that vacuum approaching closer and closer. Let's get back to the show. Wow, thanks for helping me film that. I feel like that was the Citizen Kane of our time, with a rich demagogue running for office and all that. It was just, important for me to get out there and show my office. And, it was also fun getting to pretend I was Bob Vila for a few minutes, living that dream. So, thank you, Sean.
Yeah, I've been humoring you my entire life.
Well, you know what? I appreciate it. Time skip. Wow, it's been a great episode. I'm so thrilled to have my brother here for my 100th episode of Hermitcraft. It's funny because, I've been trying to get my YouTube stuff going again basically since I had a kid and then didn't sleep for months and months and months at a time. I've told this story a lot, but, I'm going to tell it one more time. After 3 months of not sleeping, my wife and I were telling all our friends, like, you know what, we're so glad we had a kid when we were young, because we wouldn't be able to handle this if we were any older. And by 9 months of Corinne not letting us sleep through the night, like she would wake up 3-4 times some nights, we were just telling everybody, you know what, you're young, wait for those Gattaca babies where they're going to sleep through the night and they're going to be perfect and your life will not be ruined. Just hold out as long as you can, just wait. And, I've been trying to restart my YouTube thing basically since then, and it's been a few false starts. But when I went to Minecon this year, it was funny because people were like, oh yeah, you're back for real this time, right? And I'm like, well, yeah. And they're like, yeah, you've made like 80 Hermitcraft episodes already this year. That's great. And I was just like, you keep track of how many episodes I make? That's awesome. Oh man, I've made 80 episodes. I'm gonna have 100 soon. I better figure something out. So thank you, Sean, for coming out here and helping make this special. Thank you to all of you, the viewers, for being a part of my life and for letting me be a part of yours. Until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring.